All right, we'll wait a few minutes for everybody to get back in. I think Nikki accidentally bumped us off when she jumped in. Can everyone hear me that's here? Hey. So we are back. Where were we? I think we need another drink. Oh, she definitely owes me a bottle of Henny. You know what's funny though? I've never drank Hennessy ever in my life. Never have, so but that would be nice. Glitch in the matrix, definitely. I think that's what happened, really. I think I'm gonna have to splice these together to make them go up. Nikki, you kicked us off when you jumped out. We just went back live again. So here we are. Ooh, Hope. Yes, she owes me whiskey, like a lot of it. You know, though, in tonight's drink, the love potion, it's actually vodka. All right, on with the show. All right, where were we though? So they are in the sandwich shop that night. She sneaks out of her home. Um, a coworker is driving by late that evening, um, close to the 1 o'clock in the morning hour, Valentine's Day, and she sees all of the lights on at her job. Why would Subway sandwich place be open at almost 1 a.m.? So she pulls into the parking lot. She notices Stephanie's car there, and she goes in and she finds the two teens murdered behind the counter. She also witnesses somebody running out the back door. He was male, white male, about 5'8", with blonde hair, running, and he's wearing a red jacket and flared pants. He would be in his late teens or early 20s. And this is where the story goes cold. Um, no one knows anything. No one understands what's happened. No one comes forward. Um, there's actually a photo of the actual subway with the crime tape. So immediately we're going to just kind of jump into theories because I mean, something's really odd here. You also got to remember this is the year 2000, so technology is still coming along slowly. There's no digital footprint. The first major social media platform, MySpace, was still a few years away from its start. Cameras were not as high tech as they are now, and the only information we have is from the eyewitness who found the bodies. So, what we do know for a fact is the store was not robbed. I thought maybe the intention was, to rob the store, robbery gone bad, but Stephanie's vehicle was still in the parking lot. Her keys were still on her. No money was taken from the register, no trophies taken from the bodies, what we've seen in serial killers where they cut off something to take with them. Um, so that theory doesn't seem to work for me. Um, what I wasn't able to determine was what the hours are for a Subway store in that area. I researched a little and I found that most Subways close no later than 10 p.m. So this leads me away from the robbery attempt theory because, I mean, oh, comment. Love triangle. Yes, we're going to get into that. Jealous ex. I don't know that either of them had exes. They met in junior high. They were kind of like little soulmates. So um maybe they, but I have some thoughts about that too. We'll get into that one. Um my biggest issue with the robbery theory is if someone came in around the 10 o'clock hour, let's just say it was supposed to close around 10 o'clock. Why would they barely be running out close to 1 a.m.? If you were going to rob the store and shoot someone, you'd rob it, shoot them, leave, right? why would you hang around for almost 2 hours? It doesn't seem to make any sense. Why would you still be there? Um, and if this individual arrived before closing, why would you stay that long no matter what the situation is? And if you're there, you're the killer, you're there for 2 hours. Why did you leave the front door unlocked the entire time? I mean, you saw the photo. This store is very visible from the street. Major street that runs by there. It's not not hidden away. You see the windows there. If this is a shooting or someone's holding them hostage, I mean, anybody could drive by and see that. So, um, let's go into the theory of jealous boyfriends, girlfriends, stalkers. What we now know is that Stephanie snuck out that night to go be with him while he was closing. She was an absolutely beautiful girl. Maybe she had a stalker. Maybe someone saw her sneak out of her home and followed her there and then maybe held him hostage for a little while, you know? Possibility. Oh, okay, let's see. James, the Denver police Crime Stoppers have raised the award. I saw that for information. It's the highest ever in Denver. I did see that today. It's huge. They're really desperate to clear this up. I mean, these families need closure, you know? So, and Edwin agrees with William. What is that? Let's see. Personal. Definitely a personal thing. You think so? I kind of think so too. Um, yeah. Melissa or Hope, definitely crime of passion. That's what I'm leaning towards. Ooh, my computer is going nuts here. But I think that my issue with that theory is that who gets a hold of a gun? These were gunshot wounds at 15 and 16. So perhaps it was someone older, like an older adult that was stalking her or even him. I mean, who knows? But after all these years, if someone was stalking them, if this occurred when they were, really young and the person themselves was really young, wouldn't somebody have said something? Wouldn't something have slipped up after all of these years? Um, the other situation that comes into play with this one is that the store was being used for drug deals. So I have a question. James here, who's in our chats, he's actually from Colorado. So are you familiar with that area? Um, yeah, that subway was really close to Columbine High School. Um, William, maybe the killer stuck around in shock, couldn't believe what they did. I remember we chatted about that. Like, it's a possibility if they were a very young individual and they just murdered two people, they might have stood around crying or agonizing what to do. And then when the coworker shows up, you know, they leave. Anyway, James, you're from Colorado. Are you familiar with that area? If so, you wanna jump in here with me for a minute? You can talk to us about the area if you're familiar. Um, I think though I'm definitely leaning towards a crime of passion. Somebody was very jealous of their love, like I said, they were inseparable. Yes, that is the Littleton area, yeah. How close are you to the Littleton area? Let me throw some merch in here while we're chatting. Don't forget to buy us a cocktail. And oop. Oh, so you're 2 hours south, so that's not too far then. Um, yeah. I wanna circle back to the actual cameras. The cameras in the store, there was a camera in the store and it did not pick up anything useful, is what the police indicated. It apparently there was a blind spot in the camera. So, with that said, I wonder if the killer was familiar with that blind spot in the camera. So, could this have been an employee there? Um, oh, okay, stand by. You want to join in for a minute? Let me send you a link real quick, okay? And you'll just click on it and you can tell us a little bit about what you remember of that area. Hang on, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so back to the cameras. And yes, Nikki should buy drinks. Definitely, like lots of them. Yeah. um, yeah, for all of us. See, Nikki, you're gonna owe a lot of people drinks. A lot of people. Everybody watching, drinks are on Nikki. Okay. Um, but let's go back again to the cameras. What do you guys think of those cameras? One camera in the store has a blind spot and it doesn't pick up anything. So this person literally stayed out of the frame of this where the camera was pointing the entire time. It feels odd, like as if how did they know how to not just to avoid that camera? Did they stand underneath it? I mean, like if you're going to go in and shoot someone, I mean, I think part of you or something would be caught in that camera. So, and some of the other facts here, nothing was missing, so it wasn't a robbery. The store most likely didn't close at midnight. It would probably close more closer to 10 p.m., maybe 11. But why would the killer be coming out of the store at midnight? I mean, you go in, you kill someone, and then you would leave, I would imagine. Um, Again, coworkers saw lights on at a time that they should have been turned off. And I kind of wondered if maybe the two lovebirds were staying after hours just to hang out. Like maybe they were going to clean up the shop and she was waiting for him and they decided, well, we can't go back home yet because you snuck out. So, um, William, an ex-employee who hated them, maybe he was the only one that worked there, Nick. Stephanie did not work there. So maybe just the way that they were inseparable, maybe someone was kind of angry about that. Um, Again, though, if they stayed late, hanging out, just being together, did they forget to lock the door? That's the biggest question. Um, Again, let's look at see if we can see the scene. So there's a memorial up there in front of the store, but you can see over here on the right side this subway over here. You see this parking lot is pretty wide open and it's not far from the street. So again, it's odd that the lights are glowing in the middle of the night in this store and it's so visible to the street that how can someone just go in and murder without anybody seeing? Maybe the time frame, I don't know, but um so moving on to the last theory, we're going to go back to the drugs. There was a rumor that um some employees were dealing drugs out of the back of the store. um I guess the area is kind of known for drug use. It's not a bad area, but heavy drug use, and perhaps they encountered someone that came in to see their drug dealer, but happened upon Nick and Stephanie instead. Maybe they understood what was happening, so they were killed. I don't know. Oh, no video. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. No video. There you are. Hey, it's a longtime friend of mine.
Hey,
He's
hey,
from
hey.
Colorado
Of course,
himself.
no one can hear me.
Huh?
I bet you. Can you hear me?
So what do you remember of the area, Littleton? Do you think it's like something that or a location that is heavily drug use and homeless or not really? My Oh, I can't hear you.
So
Can you
let's try this.
bump your volume up for you? Are you there? Can you hear us? Hear me? Uh-oh. 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 Can you hear me or no?
I can hear you. I can hear
Okay, I
you. It's
can hear
my
you
echo
now.
because I had to take off the headphones.
Okay.
Yes, I
Um
can hear you.
Basically though, do you remember that area, that location? Is it heavily drug use and all
I know
that,
the
or
area.
is it just
Yeah, it
huh?
looked back in the 2000s. That was considered a suburb. It was just building up.
A
Um,
what? I'm sorry.
Basically a rural area. Everything was fairly new. The high school
Rural,
was fairly
yeah.
new.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was.
Everything.
It's a suburb of Denver.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, it's not too
so
far.
it's basically your upper middle class, upper class thing there.
And
But
that's
about
kind
this
of what I
was when
read
the first
too.
first broke out.
Mhm.
It was they couldn't figure out why if it was a robbery. Um, the thoughts that I thought
Right. Right. Mhm.
my thought
Oop,
was
I can't hear you. Oh, there
it
you are.
the it was said it was reconnecting. My feeling was is that it was possibly a robbery gone bad, and
Right. I thought that too, but nothing was missing. The cash register was intact, their wallets were there, her car keys, nothing was taken.
yeah,
What I thought
everything that
if we went mm,
yeah,
uh-oh. I thought if you went with the robbery theory, my thought was they stayed late because 'cause they're, like, inseparable, they're in love. They stayed longer than they should have in the building and forgot to lock the doors. So if someone came in thinking they were gonna rob it and encountered these 2 teenagers, like, "What the hell are you doing here?" Maybe they panicked and shot them and then ran. My thought.
let me throw this one at you.
Uh-huh.
Being out from the worst school shooting in history, um, possible
Mhm.
copycat trying out what hit it first before going for a bigger show, so to
I
speak,
I agree.
and
I thought that a lot,
wrong place, wrong
but when
time.
I kept what I kept seeing in the research was, the police department kept repeatedly saying it's not connected to the Columbine shootings. It's nothing. They just really wanted to separate these 2 things. But I think that is a very plausible theory because copycat type of situation where this person may have idolized the shooters, wanted to try it themselves, but didn't know if they could actually pull it off. So, and since this case kinda went really big, they just might have or maybe they realized they just didn't wanna kill people anymore, I don't know. But, very good possibility that that's um, connected. Um,
Um,
Again, what I was saying earlier, I can't understand if it's somebody very young, why haven't they cracked by now or said something to someone? You know, young kids, things weigh on their mind and they would go tell someone. So,
Yeah. And that's all. And that's
mhm,
basically all investigators are waiting for is someone to go, you know what I did back when I was in high school?
mhm. Right. But this is 2000 and what, 24 years later? And then, the other thing that's really odd about this is they were murdered on Valentine's Day. So again, we go back to that theory, jealous ex or jealous lovers or just somebody that's stalking them or angry at their love and perhaps
And that's
meaningfully
that's
shot them.
completely possible because a lot of the witnesses were saying that they would see her continuously go when he would work the close shift and be there to take him home,
Mhm.
give him a ride. That right there, that's an instant. Well, I see that car here all the time. Why is she always there? I don't like
Mhm.
that they're together. Blah blah blah. Whatever. No, that
Right.
falls into that
Somebody
that
just
theory of being
jealous.
stalked.
My other I don't know, I
Or
just keep going back
or
to
what
it.
could have happened was
Mhm.
is the individual that committed this crime got here, didn't know what they wanted to do, didn't know if they wanted to rob a store, they didn't know if they just wanted to do it, they just kind of maybe held them and maybe
Mm.
they wanted into the
I
safe
wondered
that
about that.
he couldn't get access to. Because I know my
Do
son works at a
Subways even
Subway
have
in
safes?
California. Yes, they do. Yeah, it's drop
Really?
in. No one opens it except for the store manager. That's the only one that's got
Oh,
the
okay.
number.
Okay.
So if that's in
Mhm.
14,000, that's a definite thing. Because otherwise, you have to have the closer run a money bag to it.
Right, right.
So
I
that
didn't
said,
I've only worked,
he
like, fast
he
food
was
briefly in
trying.
my
They
teens.
were trying hard to get into the safe. They weren't worried about. I mean, what are they gonna have in the drawer? No more than $100, 150 top.
So,
So the
that's
big
an
work would
excellent
be to
theory.
get the safe.
That's an excellent theory on this because remember what I keep saying about the store should have closed between 10 and 11, but their bodies weren't found till 12:47. So, and the killer was running out. Well, potentially we believe that was the killer that was running out at that time. So that would make sense, that long gap there that they were in the store. Perhaps this person was trying to get access to the safe and hadn't killed them. Maybe we were torturing them, screaming at them, "Give me the access to the safe," and they really didn't have it, So he ultimately shoots them so that they cannot identify him or her, who knows?
Yeah.
So that's a good
I can succeed to run in
what was that? We lost you there for
the
your
ability
sound.
to go out and rob again since no one knows what I look like.
Right, right, because he shot them. So, yeah,
And
I don't know.
possibly this perpetrator is already in jail and or has in their own kind of trouble. And
Mhm.
of course, as you know,
Well,
the dead
you
can tell
you
a
go
story.
on. Mhm. You fast forward on to, some of the other Columbine survivors. I can't remember her full name, but, she went on to have, like, a life of crime and, ultimately, I think died of an overdose, so a lot of those survivors from the Columbine shooting also ended up dying in strange ways, so, not sure if
Mm-hmm.
that's any connection or if it's related to the location. So the location itself, they're saying that all the research says is that it was a safe, nice, quiet area, but um, I don't know. You've got a handful
Like
of survivors there.
I know they're saying nailed the sketches looks like Looks like a female. Looks like Adriana, someone that we know.
Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, those so it looks like a female.
So
Okay, I know
you
who you're
know,
talking about.
so
I see.
yeah,
I didn't get
there,
my hands
there,
on
there's
any of those
two there's
sketches.
two drawings put together on the Crime Stoppers website for this case. At the bottom, they
Oh,
have
okay.
the article sketch.
Let me see if
One
I
of
can
them looks
grab
like
that
a
real quick.
female.
It's whereabouts on their
It's Denver
page?
Crime
Let's see.
Stoppers.
I'm there. So Stephanie, let's see. Nope. I'm trying to find that picture, but they've got hundreds. What do you guys got going on in Colorado? Jesus, there's a lot of crime there. And you're about 2 hours from that location in Colorado, but I know I see a lot of crime come out of your area too. So, yeah, I don't see that anywhere um, on here. There's a lot of it though. Wow. I don't know. I'll have to share that later on the social medias if I can find it later. But you think it might have been a female? I mean, us women. Oh, there we are. Okay. Yeah, you know what? One side looks like it could be soft features, like the left-hand side. Yeah. Um Possibly could have been a female. Yeah. Um yeah, it's backwards, but yeah, we can see it 100,000 at this point, yeah. Um and I know I read that they keep raising money for it. So, but yeah. So possibly a female, possibly. Um Jealous female, maybe. And again, Stephanie was a very pretty girl. Someone jealous of her for having a great relationship and maybe they don't. So, maybe. What are you guys' theories in the comment section? Anybody have a theory other than the jealous person? Or I mean, what do you think of the drug situation? You think that it could have been drug deal gone bad? Yeah, I got that one. Um, yeah. Um, I guess everybody's silent now. Maybe Nikki bought everybody drinks except for me. Oh, um, I think I've got a few photos of their grave. Mm, It's showing backwards for us, so yeah, I'll be posting that at the end. Um, see, there's their grave site. They are actually buried together. So their families came together and put them in the same grave site. So they've got a memorial bench there and a nice big memorial plaque. So they're buried in a hilltop in Colorado. So I think we're going to wrap this up because there's not much more to say, and everybody's either really drunk or they've fallen asleep. I don't know. But I'm going to put up hopefully let me see, the information for Crime Stoppers so that you guys can go there and submit a tip if you have one, or anybody that maybe you James may share this in Colorado with people and maybe somebody has a tip that can help save you know this family from any more grief. So if you jump on the website Metro Denver Crime Stoppers, you can actually make an anonymous tip. You can get that award money or reward money, and you could also call them I think you can text them here. Call or text 720-913-STOP. So, yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining me. It was cool. I'd like to have you on again soon, especially if you find another Colorado case. I know there was a couple from your area, so might be interesting. Yep. So, everybody thank James. Bye. All right, we're going to get out of here right now. You guys join us again in about a week, or maybe my co-hosts will be back. I don't know, maybe. Anyway, have a good evening.